Hey, Bengals fans, buckle up, because things are shifting in Cincinnati and it's coming straight from the top. This is Bengals Breakdown, and I'm here to bring you real football talk. Not rumors, not noise, just what's actually happening on the field. We've talked about stars like Jamar Chase and Trey Hendrickson a lot lately, and rightfully so. But now it's time to zoom in on what's been quietly unfolding during camp. And it starts with head coach Zac Taylor. He's making moves, serious ones, and they're already setting the tone for the entire Bengals preseason. Before we dive deeper into the updates, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tap the bell icon so you never miss breaking Bengals news. If you're riding with the jungle this season, you'll want to be locked in. All right, let's get into it. So, what's changing? Zac Taylor is flipping the script on training camp routines. Practices are no longer in the afternoon heat. They're moving to the mornings. That may sound small, but it's a big deal. Why? Because this is Cincinnati in the summer. Those post-lunch sessions were brutal. Now, Taylor wants sharper focus, less fatigue, and more efficient reps when bodies are fresh and minds are sharp. It's a signal. This team is about to get a lot more intentional, and we're just getting started. Zac Taylor isn't just shifting schedules. He's reshaping the entire Bengals approach to camp. And if you're a player, you probably saw this one coming. Let's start with the practice schedule flip. Morning practices are now the standard. It's not just about beating the heat, it's about maximizing performance. You get your physical reps early while energy and focus are high. The rest of the day, that's for film, playbook installs, and mental reps. Efficiency meets intensity. This change didn't come from nowhere. Word around the locker room is that players wanted this, and Zac Taylor, being the player-first leader he is, listened. But here's the real shocker. No joint practices this year. That's right. For the first time under Taylor, the Bengals are opting out completely. Why? Look no further than last season. The joint practice with the Bears turned into a disaster. Pouring rain, sloppy conditions, and the cost? 2 players, Chris Evans and Deontay Smith, lost for the season. Taylor's made his thinking clear. This year is about us. No distractions, no unnecessary risks. Every rep, every snap, every drill, it's going to be all Bengals, all the time. And here's what that likely means. We could see more starters playing in the preseason. In previous years, joint practices were used to simulate real game action. But without those sessions, preseason games take on new weight. Taylor is leaning into it. Expect key players to suit up, get real work in, and set the tone before week 1. It's a fresh focus, a tougher mindset, and it signals one thing loud and clear. Cincinnati isn't easing into the season. They're attacking it. Let's be clear. This Bengals team isn't trying to prove anything to anyone else. Not in joint practices, not in preseason matchups. The focus is internal now. Laser sharp. Zac Taylor's message is simple. Get right early. Because let's face it, September has not been kind to Cincinnati in recent years. Every fan knows it. The slow starts, the frustrating losses, and every season, it's the same thought. If we just came out hotter, we'd be in a different spot come playoff time. Well, this year, they're doing something about it. And guess who's leading that charge? Joe Burrow. You might have seen him making appearances off the field, Met Gala, interviews, national spotlight. But don't get it twisted. His mindset is still all business. This offseason, Burrow didn't make excuses. He owned it. He admitted point blank that he didn't play well enough early last year, especially that opening game. The offense struggled. Rhythm wasn't there. Timing was off. And Burrow knows in this league, slow starts can cost you everything. So what's he doing about it? Stepping up, vocal in the locker room, focused on the field, fully healthy, no injury rehab, no setbacks, just clean preparation from day 1. And quietly, this might be the most complete and stable offseason of his career. He's healthy. T. Higgins is still in stripes. Jamar Chase is still all in. The offense is intact, hungry, and motivated. No drama, no distractions. Just a quarterback who knows this season has to start with a bang, not a stumble. And when Burrow takes ownership like that, the whole team listens. Things are lining up perfectly for Joe Burrow, and for the first time in a while, he doesn't have to start over with a new supporting cast. It's the same crew at the skill positions: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. The chemistry is built, the timing is sharp, and the trust is already there. That kind of continuity, it's rare and dangerous for opposing defenses. Sure, there are a couple of new names on the offensive line, and that's going to take some reps to gel. But overall, this offense is entering year 2 of Dan Pitcher's system, and that's massive. The terminology stays the same. The playbook stays familiar. The rhythm, already forming. This isn't a rebuild. This isn't a reset. This is a continuation of something that was already elite, just fine-tuned and upgraded. And if you've seen Burrow at open practices lately, you know what's coming. The velocity, the command, the ball placement, it's all been on display. And more than anything, his presence is back, fully healthy, fully locked in. Now let's flip to the defense for a second because someone else is making noise. Demetrius Knight Jr. At first, some questioned the pick. Second rounder felt like a reach to some analysts. But the Bengals saw something no one else did, and they just might have found a gem. Knight's maturity and experience have stood out from day one. He doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a seasoned pro. At just 24, he brings versatility, leadership, and an aggressive edge that Al Golden is already leaning into. And they're not holding him back. He's lining up off the ball, blitzing off the edge, dropping into coverage. Wherever they've put him, he's responded. This isn't just a rookie filling in gaps. This is a playmaker being built into the foundation. If he keeps this up, Knight could be a serious contributor right away. And on a team with championship expectations, that kind of rookie impact could be a major edge. With Jermaine Pratt officially out of the picture, a new era begins in the Bengals linebacker core, and it starts with Demetrius Knight Jr. All offseason long, Knight has been lining up next to Logan Wilson with the starters. No rotating in, no waiting in the wings, just a full-speed takeover of one of the most vital roles in Al Golden's defense. And if you're a Bengals fan, that should fire you up. Because if Knight can keep showing this level of consistency, if he holds up under the lights of camp and the intensity of preseason, this pick could be one of the sneakiest wins of the draft. It's not just about talent, it's about timing. The Bengals need someone to solidify that second linebacker spot. And Knight has a chance to make everyone forget how uncertain that position looked just a few months ago. But let's not stop there. This defense has more proving to do. One of the biggest question marks heading into the season is on the defensive line, especially opposite Trey Hendrickson. And while Hendrickson's situation still hovers with some uncertainty, all eyes are now turning to a name that's heard the whispers for far too long: Myles Murphy. This is year 3 for the former first-round pick. No more waiting. No more development leash. Al Golden was direct. It's time. And he's right. Murphy has every tool: size, speed, strength. But now he needs to bring production. Not potential. Production. With Joseph Osei pushing him hard last year and grabbing more snaps, the message is clear: step up or step aside. He has a clean bill of health, a full offseason, a new coaching setup. The chance is there, and if Hendrickson returns to form, Murphy could be the one lining up on the opposite edge. If he delivers, the Bengals won't just have a pass rush. They'll have a problem for every offensive line in the AFC. With uncertainty looming around Trey Hendrickson and rookie Shamar Stewart, the Bengals' defensive line depth is under the microscope, and the pressure isn't just on the top names. Let's start with Myles Murphy. All signs point to him stepping into a bigger role this season. As a former first-round pick entering his 3rd year, the expectations are no longer about development. They're about production. Cincinnati is giving him the opportunity. Now it's on him to deliver. But Murphy isn't alone. Behind him, a handful of players are fighting to show they can contribute, and fast. Joseph Osai finished strong last season. notching 5 sacks in the final stretch and earning a short-term prove-it deal. If he builds on that momentum, Cincinnati's edge rotation could be much more dangerous than expected. Then there's Cam Sample, a name worth watching closely. After missing all of 2024 with a torn Achilles, Sample is working to return to form. If he gets anywhere close to the player he was, that's a huge boost for this defensive front. And don't sleep on Cedric Johnson either. The 6th round pick from last year showed flashes in limited snaps. He's got the frame, the explosiveness, and a golden chance to carve out a role in a room that needs answers. But the evaluation doesn't stop at the line. The secondary is just as pivotal. Al Golden is experimenting, moving cornerbacks into different roles to test versatility and fit. One standout so far? Josh Newton. Thrust into a tough spot last year due to injuries, Newton impressed with his toughness and football IQ, traits coaches now can't stop praising. His physicality and instincts have quietly made him a top candidate for the nickel corner role, especially with Mike Hilton's departure and uncertainty about Dax Hill's long-term position. If Newton continues his strong offseason, he could solidify a role in what was arguably the Bengals' weakest defensive unit last year, coverage. Improving in that area is non-negotiable if Cincinnati wants to get back to being a playoff caliber defense. With so many defensive questions still to be answered, what's clear is this: young talent has to grow up fast. If the Bengals get even a few of these gambles right, this defense could surprise a lot of people in 2025.